People were so much better off in the 50s. Meanwhile, everyone smokes, asbestos everywhere, widespread poverty, millions of young men with PTSD. Oh, and don't forget half the world still in ruin from World War II. Yeah, if you lived in Europe at this time, it was not gonna be very fun. Not to mention a couple other things. It really seemed like it was a great time from all the TV shows, but something tells me look at that decade with rose-tinted glasses. I will admit that must have been nice. The bored Westerner who desperately wants something to happen will always provide evidence that the economy is actually collapsing or about to collapse, follows AI advancements, notices clues that AGI has already been achieved internally, lives a very affluent and stable life by global standards, sudden interest in another country's politics when anti-establishment populist number 157 rises in the polls. What? Very detailed map in their head of the two sides in a future World War III. At the same time, will poop their pants if that were to actually happen. Low-key disappointed when a geopolitical crisis doesn't eventually escalate to full-blown war. Casualties are just numbers. Okay, you know what? We probably do see a lot of this. I feel like I read memes like this almost every day. I think some people are just really bored. I really want to dive into this map and make some changes myself, but I'm just gonna let it go. I see a lot of things wrong, though. Actually. Ah, yes, the doom scrollers. The self-proclaimed Norwegian-American starter pack. Oh no, this one might be a personal attack on me. Okay, well, I'm not exactly there yet, but strong hatred of Swedes despite never even meeting one. This flag. Okay, I guess this isn't gonna be me. I'm not Norwegian, but ever since I found out one of my ancestors is from Denmark, I'm not even gonna finish that. I don't want to be annoying. 23andMe loves himself the Vikings and Favre. Wife looks like, this is so oddly specific. Has this shirt. Definitely lives here, which there are a lot of people with Nordic ancestry in these areas. If old looks like this, what the hell is even that? Can't even speak a single word of actual Norwegian. Good thing I don't roleplay as a Norwegian because I don't really know what any of these are, except for Harald. That's the Harald Bluetooth. Wait, never mind. I'm getting that one wrong too. I was thinking of this Viking from back in the day. I'm more Norwegian than most people living in Norway. That's probably the most offensive of them all. And what's funny, I mean, this is such an oddly specific example, but yeah, Americans are doing this a lot. 23andMe just really changed everything. I'm sure the Europeans are so mad about it. Henga-dinga-durgan. Asian countries in fiction, or poorly disguised Orientalism. Asia, according to them, it's just China and Japan. I mean, sometimes it's Korea. The flag, that's Kyrgyzstan's flag for whatever reason. They just threw a flying eagle. It's kind of a combination of a lot of Central Asian flags. Kazakhstan over here as well. Dynasty name has 2 syllables for whatever reason. Chinese dynasty names only have 1. These are everywhere. Dragons are everywhere. What the average man looks like. What the average woman looks like. It looks like a Minecraft character. That's a lot of pixels. Honor gets brought up constantly. Random Chinese characters that make no sense. Random official. What the average soldier looks like. An author whiter than the snow of Harbin, I guess. Who exactly is this calling out? I'm really trying to figure that out. They're a mishmash of a bunch of Asian cultures, or in other words, I'm unable to distinguish between China and Japan. Is this like a book, or am I completely missing whatever TV show's doing this? Same way that Scandinavia is always cold and mountainous, that's Norway like half of Sweden. Yeah, Hollywood specifically be making a lot of mistakes in general. The entire population of Australian men aged 23 to 32. Oompa, oh, laser beam. Hi, Dubs, the guy from Stranger Things. Okay, I'm starting to get the theme here. The truth is, I really wish that I could pull this look off. I just can't, and I'm so jealous. I don't know what the women from Australia be thinking, but I have heard women here really like it. Not all, but some. Something tells me it's probably gonna age like milk, though. The absolute legend starter pack. Here's the back of his head. Here's his tummy. Drives a white van. Hold on, wait a second. Lives on bacon buddies. Has never lost at pool. Also professional at darts. Always supports his boys. More than likely from this region of England. Basically has a ham arm. And finally, the secret ingredient. It's kind of like the Matrix just hit copy, paste, and held that down for way too long. I'm not even from England, but I've seen so many people like this. I wonder if that's my destiny. Do I become this one day? It'd be hard for me to get that arm. I think I'm starting to get close, though. Bang, bang. Come on, England. Score some fucking goal. That European visitor who just flat out does not fear death. Does not believe in non-drinkable tap water. Okay, that's like the #1 mistake. Hey, look what I found. Skin color is eggshell. Doesn't wear sunscreen. No sunglasses. No hat. This is my skin tone, too. And you will not see me outside for longer than 10 minutes. Start roasting. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've been mugged before, but never had gun. These things can't get rabies, can they? Yeah, I don't know Fahrenheit, but the weather looks nice out. I think I'll take a walk. Ooh. If it's venomous, you just grab the nape of the neck, right? Commented the cops. Let's just not do that one. About to learn why they call it poison ivy. Demonstrably immune to food poisoning. Gets drunk, disappears, is found 3 hours later drinking on the street with a bunch of Spanish dudes who don't speak English. He does not speak Spanish at all. Oh, that's gonna be just kind of a fun night there. Oh, it's fine. We've got crackheads at home too. I have to admit though, okay, so this might be, I've never seen a European visitor in the US that acts like this. I would like to. I think Americans do this too when they visit Europe as well. Definitely when I brought my friends. friends they did. I will say it makes it a more fun time though. Random side note, but it really makes me depressed that Europeans don't normally come all the way out to California. And I get it. I mean, why would they? If you're gonna come to the US, you're gonna want to visit New York and Florida. You got even Chicago here. It's just so much easier for them to hit all the stuff on the east, but it makes me sad because I almost never run into Europeans because they never really come to LA. Maybe sometimes, but it's rare. In fact, I meet like more Brazilians here in LA, if anything. Being Hispanic and being invited over to have dinner at your white friend's house as a kid starter pack. It was literally my editor Frank growing up. Hola, amigo. No off-brands, only the good stuff. Damn, he would really literally say this. Thinking this was only served on Thanksgiving. Be careful, it's spicy. Literally the least spicy salsa you ever tasted in your life. Overall, wholesome dinner. I like that they're not even actually having Mexican food. They just decided to bust out chips and salsa with whatever else they're making. Maybe a turkey? The modern AAA World War II shooter starter pack. Never used the swastika, only the Iron Cross. I mean, same could be said for me here on YouTube and other history YouTubers, which it's crazy to me that people still haven't figured that out. YouTube will demonetize you if you show this flag once. I get the whole argument that the Iron Cross German flag is not accurate, but what else are we supposed to do? You cannot use the actual flag. These AAA World War II shooters only take place between 1943 and 1945. Is that true though? That seems really boring. Is it because they don't want to show off the Germans too powerful in 1939 and 1940, or generic story? Obligatory D-Day mission, of course. I mean, it is the most famous probably in the West. Only acceptable US weapons, only acceptable German weapons. Hans, get the flamin' Werfer. Always the US, the Germans, the French, sometimes the British, the Soviets, and the Japanese, and then almost never the Australians, the Polish, or the Italians. Speaking of other flags you can't use, I mean, you can use it, it just depends on if you want to sell your game in Asia. I feel like the key word here is modern AAA. There's definitely AA shooters and even indie shooters that will go against this starter pack. And then there's older AAA games that probably go against this starter pack, just not anymore. And that's kind of depressing. First of all, what are these countries though? Always the USA and always France? What? Only sometimes the Soviet Union and sometimes the British. Now I just really want to make my own World War II shooter. Except you're actually going to be mounted on a horse as a Polish winged hussar as Germany and the Soviets move in on all fronts. That sounds fun. Like, you're doomed, but you know, how many can you take out? Look, that's literally the first comment. German invasion of Poland would be cool COD mission. Imagine a World War II shooter set in the Sino-Japanese theater. Insane. Now that would be a setting I don't think any AAA game has ever visited. The modern movie humor starter pack. Guys, he's right behind me, isn't he? I did a thing. Well, that just happened. I loved when Oppenheimer said that in his movie, Massive Mushroom Cloud. I did a thing. Character undercuts an emotional scene by saying the intrusive thoughts out loud. Yes. I mean, there's only one type of movie you have to blame for this. I mean, they started it, just everyone copied after. Every major Chinese city. Old district / historic building reconstructed in 1990. Landmark skyscraper unoccupied since completion. Nightmare highways for your safety. CCTV. Winter smog. E-bikes everywhere. Brand new glossy metro. 15 million population. Never heard of it. 3 blocks away from the CBD. And excessive light shows. The amount of Chinese cities with 15 million population that the West has never heard of, it's scary. I say the same thing about India. Both nations have over 1 billion population. Like, there's so much we don't know. But we probably should, to be honest. Even as a geography nerd, searching through the Chinese most populated cities, I don't have to go that far down to get to a city I've never heard of before. I'm not sure I ever pronounced Foshan. Also, Kunming, the largest city in the Yunnan province. I know about that province. Chongqing might be the biggest one I've never seen. Oh, that's deep on in there. That's sad. I need to brush up on that. Riding a bike in the USA. Bike lane covered with trash cans. Give cyclists space. Meanwhile, this is literally in the bike lane. That's nice. People yelling, get off the road! Very safe. Hit and run. No charges. Victim blaming. Dang. No bike lanes. Contact your neighborhood. Suck it. Thank you, Amazon truck. Oh, wow. Yeah. Just go around. Get off the road. Get off the sidewalk. Use the bike lane. Yeah, the Dutch definitely don't mess around with this. In the Netherlands, it's opposite. You start driving too crazy, enough bikers will beat you up. The accurate American food starter pack. Localized versions of hundreds of other cuisines that are delicious regardless of authenticity. It's Italian, Israeli, and Chinese. Let's have American food. Sure, what kind? Europeans after their first bite of Popeye's fried chicken. Okay, don't overhype them like that. I mean, wild rice, fry bread, cranberries, cornbread, and other dishes of indigenous Americans. The oldest and probably most underrated of all American cuisines, New Mexican food is a blend of southwestern native and Spanish cuisines predating even Mexico. Dishes such as soli, green chili, pork stew, and sopalillas. sopapillas. I don't think I've actually tried a lot of these. The flour tortilla, chips, and queso Tex-Mex enchiladas developed by Tejanos, and the blending of Hispanic and European American cuisines. This is what I really like. The barbecue, Texas barbecue, the southern food. The literal greatest cuisine on earth, Cajun food combines African, Acadian, French, Spanish indigenous practices to make dishes like, I'm not even gonna pronounce this, but yeah, gumbo, jambalaya, those are good. Crawfish. These are some really unique dishes. Also from the south, okra, collard greens, chitlins, fried catfish, black-eyed peas, and soul food of African and Afro-Caribbean origin. First of all, from this map, I mean, we're really being held up by the south here. Thank you, south. Iced tea to drink, please. All hail the biscuit. But the northeast does have us with lobster rolls, clam chowder, Carolina barbecue, and many more from East Coast, delicacies. It's all just burgers. Yeah, there is some very good cuisine. I think this is the most important part, though. You can get good food from any part of the earth. So specifically, if you live in bigger cities like LA or New York, for sure. Oh yeah, and I do be loving some chocolate chip cookies. To my patrons this month, thank you. Lucas, the Canadian Goose from Avoca. ZaneyBoi, Sarsath. I cannot sleep without douche. Amateur Archaeology. aPhatNarwhal. Connor, WW2, Fredrik Tibblin, KansasWasMentioned, KingBearHaze, Lucas, Prentice, LuxembourgLover, and the Tambre 760.